Things were hopping at Alabama basketball yesterday in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide won to improve to 4-0. And Kalen DeBoer made an appearance at halftime. We're going to talk about that. A new co-defensive coordinator to help continue to fill out the coaching staff. And Caleb Downs, an All-American and still in Tuscaloosa. All that right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, and let's get this party started. Roll Tide. To everybody, welcome to the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. I'm Mick Gillespie on the socials at Broadcaster Mick, and it's great to have you here on the channel today. Let's talk about Alabama, but first let me remind you that we're presented by newlifeart.com. Use the promo code Bama Tailgate to get 15% off any regularly priced item, and that includes all of those great Daniel Moore prints, and we've got a whole studio of them here. We love them. Fantastic. All right, let's talk Alabama. And we're going to begin with Alabama's new defensive coordinator, well, the co-defensive coordinator, and that's Maurice Linguist. He comes over from Buffalo, and a good hire for Coach DeBoer, another coach that was actually a head coach, which is incredible when you think about it, that he's got co-defensive coordinators now, and both guys were head coaches. Of course, yesterday, it was Kane Wommack that came from South Alabama. It looks like Wommack, but it's pronounced Wommack. Wommack, and now it is Maurice Linguist. They come over. They're going to be co-defensive coordinators. And for Linguist, Coach Linguist, who has a tremendous track record of coaching and a huge resume, he'll be working with the guys in the secondary as the defensive backs coach. And that's a deal where you talk about this. Look at the track record here. Baylor, where he played, and then he was a GA, and he's worked even for the Dallas Cowboys. He was also Buffalo's head coach. Before that, he was with Buffalo 2012 and 13 as the defensive back coach. He's been around even in the SEC at Mississippi State, and he is a really fantastic speaker. He's a guy that's dynamic. He's well-liked and respected, and you get that vibe when you hear him speak that he's an up-and-comer and a future major college head coach, and maybe that's why he's leaving Buffalo as the head coach to come to Alabama. And it brings, again, another guy that has experience as a head coach. Nick Saban did that a lot, bringing guys from the NFL, but now we're seeing coaches from some of the smaller schools that coach football taking coordinator jobs in a major program, and Alabama is as major as it gets. So he comes in and will join this Alabama coaching staff, which is starting to come together. And I think it's a good hire. And again, when you listen to what he has to say, you get the vibe that he's going to do a great job coaching, but he's also going to do a great job recruiting. And that's something that Alabama fans have certainly been concerned about. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, yesterday, it was Bama basketball, and guess who showed up at halftime? Kind of a tradition, and that is Coach DeBoer, and he fired up the crowd. It was a loud ovation in Tuscaloosa. Didn't say a whole lot, but basically went over to the student section and got a big Roll Tide out. Fans were loud and excited like you would expect. Great crowd despite the weather in Tuscaloosa last night to the basketball game. And they got treated to another Alabama victory. Nate Oates has the team at 4-0 now in SEC play. All of those tough games that Alabama played in the non-conference schedule seems to have made this team razor sharp, and they're getting better and better every game. I think that this team is starting to find itself, and it was exciting to watch. There was a moment in the game where Nate Oates kind of had some Missouri players over by the bench, helped one guy out of the way. That's been pretty big news. But, I'm sure all he was trying to do was de-escalate all of the talking that was going on. But if you weren't at the basketball game or you didn't watch it, you really missed it. It's exciting to see what Alabama's doing on the basketball court. And Nate Oates, who's won 2 SEC titles in 3 years, has the team playing good basketball again. See, you know where my mind is. All right, let's talk about Caleb Downs. All day we waited to hear if the Alabama All-American would transfer. The news that we got, though, is that he was a freshman All-American, and he was almost freshman of the year. He just got edged out. But Caleb Downs picks up another big honor. Obviously, there's been talk about him going into the transfer portal. Alabama's staff has put a full court press on keeping Caleb Downs, making him comfortable, getting to know him, letting him know that they want him to stay in Tuscaloosa. So we'll see what happens. Trey Amos has already declared for the transfer portal or whatever you want to call it. So they're going to need Caleb Downs certainly for that secondary as, they put this team together. But from what we understand, a lot of the players are very comfortable with this transition. You're starting to hear from some of those guys. Tyler Booker made a statement about it. Devontae Smith had a statement about it. So they're basically saying, hey, we're here. We're excited about this. And they feel like Alabama is going to be Alabama in the future. So that's good news. We'll keep an eye on this and anyone else that pops into the transfer portal. But pretty quiet day today so far, although anytime you rest, it seems like something else breaks. And I know Alabama fans are certainly concerned about the future of Caleb Downs, but congratulations to him for winning that award. All right, guys, that does it. I also want to tell you, not only are we presented by New Life Art, but also our good friend Chad Anderson and Modern Lending. Chad is the guy that got me in this studio. He was my mortgage guy. He's helped 10,000 families get into homes. He's an investment consultant and Airbnb expert. ChadwickAnderson.com is his website. And if you called that number on the screen, you need some help with a mortgage, he's the guy that answers. Chad at ChadwickAnderson.com. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out and being part of the channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe and roll Tide.